It kind of came into my mind that I wanted to talk about a bit about unconditional love, especially on the twin flame journey. And I think that that's a word that so often gets sort of misunderstood. It's kind of thought of as unconditional love as you're giving and giving at the cost of yourself without expecting anything in return or having any sense of boundaries. But unconditional love is not really something that you give, but it's something that you become. And it's something that you are deep down underneath the ego, underneath your personality, underneath your desires, is this part of you that is directly source, this part of you that is directly source essence. And that essence within you is pure unconditional love. And so it's a state of being. Unconditional love is about being, radiating, being, embodying. I was going to say feeling, but it's way more than just an emotion that is felt. It is a state and a vibration that you occupy where you radiate love without that love being dependent on an object, and without that love being directly rooted to a 3D or external circumstance. It's love without object, love without circumstance, love without need. Love that is sourced and fulfilled within you rather than from outside of you. And it's from this space, actually, ironically, when you think of unconditional love less as something that you're doing or giving and something that you're being and radiating, and that's actually when you give unconditional love, right? Because a lot of people give love or put themselves in really negative situations because they are seeking that sort of drug-like addiction of, I'm supporting the other person's well-being, they matter so much more to me than myself, and even if it's at the cost of myself, I need to appease or satisfy them in some way, even if it's at the cost of myself. But unconditional love, radiating unconditional love, is when you're so fulfilled that you're able to give because you're so full. You're not giving or losing yourself in a space of lack, but you're giving from a space that is never empty, right? So you're giving from your cup that is always full. And I always say with the twin flame journey too, so much of it is about you being forced into unconditional love in ways that you have not imagined or thought that you were capable of doing, right? The twin flame is almost like that fire that forges, that molds you into that unconditional love. And so often I kind of see in the twin flame community is sort of stuff that feels like dating coaching or Buddhist wannabes, where they encourage you to put yourself first and they encourage you to find that radiant love in some way, but then they forget the whole part of loving your twin. And what do I mean by that? For example, some people will be very good at telling you the non-duality stuff, but then when it comes to your twin flame, they're kind of like, oh, you're not supposed to care or really give a shit about them. Or you have kind of like the dating coach thing where it's, you need to be whole and put yourself first, and then you just don't care about the twin. And for me, that's never been the point. And I do always talk about things like being whole, being complete, radiating love, that all those non-dual aspects of can you be love without object? Can you be tapped into that non-duality of love, of bliss, of pure awareness? And something that is important is that your love for your twin flame, when you become unconditional love, the love for your twin flame becomes even more purified. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is that the parts of you that were yearning, that were needing, that were seeking something from them are now transmuted into wholeness, into love, into bliss. And you feel more neutral towards your twin flame. There's a sense of neutrality there. And with that neutrality, it's actually the purest form of love that you can have. Because the intensity of the love per se, it doesn't go away. It's just that the parts of it that were false, like the yearning, like their ego's need for seeking something within someone else, that goes. But the love, the intensity of that love, it doesn't go away. And it shouldn't go away. It is your twin flame. So that I think I see a lot of people when they hear kind of these other people maybe talk more about it as being not caring or, not loving your twin. There's a part of them that knows inherently, I can't stop loving them. And that's good. That's good. That's your system telling you, hey, you're not supposed to deny them. You're just supposed to transmute the parts of this love that right now are very kind of addicted, that are kind of like addicted to the drug of your twin flame's form. But when you turn that within and you dive into this ocean within yourself that is love, that is unconditional love, that is pure love, that is pure bliss, your twin flame, the very addictive feelings that were there before becomes neutral. But somehow that makes the love deeper. And it might be confusing. I'm saying that your love remains just as intense, yet I'm also saying it's neutral. And those two can coincide. Because it's just that there's the yearning and the need to get something from them is gone. And this is when you're able to give your twin anything. Right? This is when they come back. This is when they orbit around you, because you are this space. You are the only space when you're balanced that's not craving them, that is not seeking something from them, that is not desperate for them, right? And this is all energetically, right? It's not through words. It's not through, by the way, twin, I don't need you anymore. I'm whole. It's about the energy, really. It is about the energy. And so I think it's important that the word unconditional love is slowly becoming less of, I'm giving endlessly or I'm losing myself, but rather it becomes a word for your state of being and what you radiate. Because then at that point, that's when you're able to give in the first place. If you're giving or if you're holding space but you're secretly seeking or wanting something, that's not love. That is the parts of you that think you need something outside of yourself seeking to complete itself. And unconditional love is not anything about that. Unconditional love is a state of being. So yeah, this topic kind of came into my head when I was thinking that, the different kinds of things that I remember hearing on my journey and thinking, and thoughts that I had that I dealt with that was very much, how am I supposed to view and what happens to my love for my twin as this journey progresses, because I'm not getting to the point where the love necessarily goes. And a good teacher will hold space for your love for your twin, while also helping you transmute the parts of that love into this vibration of love, of wholeness, of bliss within yourself that's not dependent on the twin. And then that's what causes the twin to orbit around you. It's like a causal law. When you're in the stillness, when you're anchored into unconditional love, they have to move to you.